What is going on, everyone? On-Chain Wizard here, and we are live for Finding Profitable Token Ideas, Part 3. How is everyone doing? Can I get a GM in the chat? So if you haven't seen, all of the new features have been, there we go, here's the GMs, let's go. All the new features have been pushed into the new site. And so we'll start going, there's still people coming in, maybe we'll give them just a second. Whatever, we're moving forward. Okay, so, new alpha stream filters. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Glad you guys are here. Hopefully this is going to be a very fun stream. So now you should all be able to see in your alpha streams on the right here, there's this little filter. You can now filter the alpha stream to give you whatever you want it to. The nice thing about this is you can change the token age categories, the amount of time. So let's just start running through some examples, right? Let's say I just want to see new launches, right? You could just say I want transactions in the last hour in 0 to 2. Just run it. Like, these are new, right? Nothing else. So there you go. All the new tokens that people have aped. This one actually has some fresh wallets. I think with this filter on, it only shows you buys right now, so I would always double check that people aren't selling yet. And they aren't. I have no idea what this token is, but whatever. Okay, so that's like one way you can do this. But again, you can, the goal of this is you can customize it to do whatever you want to do, right? So a lot of people like new launches, and that's fine. You could also run last 24 hours. Let's say I want wallets that have generated 200K of P&L with 50% win rate. But let's say I want 3 to 5 old tokens. Frog, I don't think. And so we'll make these actually clickable in the future, so you can toggle a bunch of them at the same time. So look at this one. So you can see okay, there's actually buys in Pepe and Shia. You can just run down these and see interesting stuff, like people buying shares, like this Gem Spotter, 60% win rate, 700K P&L buying shares. Interesting. But you can also use the same logic to find what I call the quality degen screen, which is the one I like to run, which is 200K P&L, 50% win rate, but new launches in the last 24 hours. And so, you'll see usually, and then you can also use all of the filters that we already had, right? So you can filter your transaction value to be, 1,500 minimum. And so basically the combination of all these things should keep you away from garbage is the goal, right? So look, there's not very many tokens that come up in here, right, over the last 24 hours. This is only one page. I don't think Money did well. I know Parrot, there was a time where Parrot did really well from these buys. I think if I bump this down to maybe 8 to 1,000, because there was a lot of buys in the PvP bot, which looks pretty interesting. I don't know why it's not coming through. It's probably because my win rate's too high. And so you can play around with these to get kind of whatever signal you want. And obviously we will iterate with you guys to get as many different filters in here to whatever detail level is giving you very good signals, right? Because even the win rates can be counterproductive because if you're not familiar, it's just by trade. So if I trade ETH 99 times and then I trade Pepe and hit 5 million on it, my win rate's 10%, but I'm actually pretty good. But anyway, so that's feature one. You can also filter these flows even by token, and with the wallet labels. Some of these are still stale, but obviously the gem, the fund, the new launch pro, and the bot are the current ones. The rest are going to get sunsetted, and we're obviously going to cut them up over time. But yeah, so like this is probably one of my favorite flows because 200k P&L is like top 50, and so this will give you basically like all of the good new launches. And you'll see I have a transaction filter of 1,000. What do you see? Like Emoti did well. See Shrek did well. Parrot did well. I can't remember which hood this is, but I think it might have done okay. And then PvP bot coming through in the last hour has done well. What is the emoji between the rocket and the gem? So all of these people are top 6-month P&L traders, but that doesn't give you very much context, right? So what we did is we delineated the P&L between people that bought in the first 2 days of a token's life and people who didn't. And so that way, when you see the gem spotters, they're usually buying later, but buying in bigger size, and they spot winners more effectively. These new launch pros are a little bit more on the gambling side. You can obviously filter that out with these win rates, right? If you pump this up to 50%, you're getting better gamblers or snipers. But that's the way we have it cut now. I'm going to recut it over the next month to see what it looks like if we do these labels by average holding period, cross-sectioned against where they buy in a contract's life, right? Because you'll see like some people, they just buy everything and they're early, but they'll sell like in an hour. So that would be one, categorization of a wallet label. So they are a sniper. They move quickly. Versus if you saw somebody that has a 250k P&L, 40% win rate, but their average hold period on their P&L winners is like 10 days, your ears are going to perk up when you see buys from them. But anyway, that's the explanation for the gems. In the Discord, there's a link to the new docs, and that's getting put on all of the new. It's getting put in the website, both in the software and on the landing page, so that you have more context around not only what the labels mean, but what the smart money means in general. But yeah, as always, ask as many questions as possible during this. But yeah, so these are the filters we have now. You can also do net transactions, so like you can basically toggle flows. So like, let's say I get rid of token H filter, we keep 200k. Let's see, I want to see tokens that have 10,000 of net buy pressure. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. Like really not that many, which is kind of surprising. Maybe it's because I wonder if that's right. And again, if you didn't see in the email this morning, we kind of ship things, it kind of iterate with the community. So there may be bugs with the new filters. So just bear with us on that, because we like to just keep shipping new things, and we'll iterate it with the users over and over and over, so that you're always getting exactly what you want, rather than us sitting around and beta testing all of these filters for like 3 months. Do you plan on adding more smart wallets, or is this all that is on the market? So we add and subtract wallets every week. So basically the algo finds them, then we run them through kind of like the explain P&L query, which if you guys haven't seen that, I can show it to you real quick. Um, but basically, like what we're doing to classify these wallets, right, is not only are they high P&L, so like this guy, but their P&L looks like this. Like, we've been over this a couple times, but like, this is a pretty good trader. That's a lot of pretty consistent, good wins. Like that's what you want to see. And then the explain P&L just tells you which token age category the P&L has come from. And so that's kind of how we delineate between, the Gem Spotters and the New Launch Pros. But yeah, anyway, the smart wallets are updated every single week. So not only are there additions, but there's subtractions. Like we've had a lot of people that were smart wallets in June that got kicked out because they started getting too aggressive, trying to ape meme coins, and their P&L went negative. And we're like, okay, they're not that smart anymore, so we'll kick them out. And then if their P&L comes back, they'll get brought back in. But yeah, so as you guys use this, if there's other filters you want, flag them to us. If you find bugs, flag those to us. But this should basically, if you're sitting looking at the alpha stream all day, it is not the right way to do it. Like last time we went over like certain ways you can filter it, which was just searching like New Launch Pro, putting ETH in the sell column and filtering the transaction value. And doing it this way, you can filter the time, the contract age, your wallet P&L, win rate, number of wallets. So, we're trying to get you guys familiar with these and build out, however many of these as we need, because then once this is done and people feel like they're getting good signals, then we're going to let you build custom Telegram alerts that match these. So let's say I ran the one I talked about, just 24 new tokens, 200K P&L. So if I didn't have a wallet threshold, basically I would just be getting pings about PvP bot. Ping, 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 because that's what my alert's set up for. If you want to even increase your odds of success, let's say you did 3, PvP bot should show up. So then once the third wallet hits, because there's 1, 2, 3, then your alert should trigger, right? So once we launch trading within Telegram, you can see how that'd be pretty powerful, right? You get ping, 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 you have 3 very good traders, high P&L, very high hit rate. They all bought something brand new, and on the third one, the alert hits, triggers to your Telegram, then you could buy it. So it's matching, amazing smart money insights, but at the same time, it's super customizable. So if you don't like new launch stuff, play with the filters, get rid of the new launch stuff. If you're tired of seeing, Vitalik's penis meme coins launched, pump up the win rates, pump up the P&L, and pump up the minimum transaction values, and you'll get rid of all of those. Because if you look here, like I said, like all of these have been pretty good new launches. How about only show token of X amount? Yep, that's in there. So you can pick how many wallets. So if you wanted to do just number of wallets, if you just think about it, if you want new launches, you could actually bring the P&L down to 50,000, because that's the cutoff to be in. Classified as smart, and let's say you wanted 5. Let's see, I don't know if there'll be any. Yeah, PvP bot, TRN, our transaction filter is still on, so obviously it limits what you're seeing. Parrot, Shrek, Emoti, Love, BB. Any timeline on Telegram notification bot launch? So we'll do Telegram alerts first without the bot. Just to test it out, make sure it's all working, and also gives you, we want to perfect the filters before we have the bot done. But then it won't be integrated with Maestro. It'll just be, it's going to be our own. But like I mentioned in the Discord, it will be customizable. Alerts to a private Telegram group. No, it's PvP bot and TRN so ruggy in the start, now printing. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way some of these go. No, not alerts to a private Telegram loop. It's a alert to your Telegram. You can trade it. You can set up a wallet just like Maestro or Unibot, and then you could trade it. Submit button doesn't work for me. Like this one? Oh, you make sure so there's only one mandatory filter. You're probably not using the top one. If you do not filter by time, you will not get, it won't work. Bring back 7-day trial. No need. We have more than 500 of you using it. The trial gets a lot more people using it, and then they'll scrape the site, they take the wallets, they're diluting your alpha. You're letting people like, you guys are paying to use it, and they're paying not very much to kind of come in here and try to extract value. So we do not need trials anymore. Timeline on the alerts. So alerts will come first, and then we're just gonna tack the bot right on top of it. So like, these insights are amazing, right? But you're not going to sit at your computer all day long. Because these traders, a lot of the P&L comes from new launches, you need to act quick. So we want to get you the alerts first before we launch the bot, because we're testing the bot, if that makes sense. But it's going to be hand in hand, right? So if you think about like all the bots right now, you're not getting you have to find the signal and then bring it to the bot, versus it's going to be reversed. So the signal comes to you, and then the bot's right there. So you might as well just trade with us. Will wallets added to alerts that end up getting removed later be visible? I do not know. So I'd assume, because the infrastructure is built that way, it should be fine. So if you have alerts on wallets that aren't smart, you should still be getting alerts. I think we're going to push even the wallet alerts. I think we're going to clean those up, because if you're using our email alerts, they're kind of ugly. And I think we're going to just move all of those into Telegram as well and make it a lot more simple. Timeline on subscription price up. That's today. What kind of fees on the bot? Same as everybody else. So same as Unibot, Maestro. Alert bot included with entry price, customizable bot price. I think you're talking about custom bots, so that's a totally separate thing, which we kind of talked about last week. But basically, if you think about these flows, once we have Telegram alerts, and then you can trade Telegram, it will actually let you set up custom bots on all of your parameters. So instead of doing it by hand, you could just tell the bot, hey, when these parameters are hit and the fifth wallet buys in this setup, I want to buy 2 for you could make it a percentage of the fifth guy's buy. You could play with how much you're going to buy, but then if you play around with these enough, you kind of get a sense of what you like, and so then you're not even going to lose the amount of time it takes for you do it by hand. You'll just be able to auto trade it. Why is Troy's 24-hour chart and TradingView it's different. It's just like a DEX screener chart. Limit orders of X amount of smart money sells. Yep, they probably want it. So anyway, moving on. I showed you the setup. play around with these. We can change these token age categories. These are just like our defaults that we've used. We can probably narrow these down, but like I said, you can customize them however you want. Like I think some people won't care about the P&L because all of the P&Ls are good enough. So you can just get rid of all of the filters and just give me one, like another way you could do it is just an hour. Last hour, new launches, 3 smart people bought it. It's like, okay, just this one. Oh, it's because I have the transaction filter on. And then if I just make that 0. Yeah. We have preset rules in advance before buy. Yes. So it's a custom bot. 0-5 days token filter is logical. What do you mean? There is no 0 to 5 day filter. But anyway, no, you don't need to ask questions about the custom bot yet because you're not going to be seeing that for a little bit. We've got a lot of other stuff to build. Oh, I misread your message. I thought you said 0 to 5 days is illogical. Yeah. So I already asked the guys to make this, so you could just click which ones you want. So like if you're looking for gems or like more real tokens, right? The flow you would do is click like 6 to 10 to like 50, because that's where like the tokens that haven't lost market's interest will sit. And then you could run 24 hours, high P&L. You could even click the gem spotter, win rate, etc. But yeah, I mean that's the flow. But like you saw it in action, like the tokens that will spit out if you use it effectively are much higher in quality. You're gonna have a much better time. You are not gonna ape, like usually this pattern is like these guys are just gonna flip this for a double and leave. Like when they are not dropping a grand or an ETH, 9 times out of 10, it's just not going to be that good. Sometimes they'll ape that little when the liquidity is just that low and they're just trying to build a position, but usually it's not very good. So that is the custom filters. New Launch Pro will go away because this actually effectively gets rid of the need for it and you can do a lot more with it. Got it. You say it's better for us to use like 2 to 5. No. So it depends what you're looking for. So like some people just get exhausted by new launches because your success rate is still kind of low. If you're trying to spot like things that are new but like haven't went crazy, or let's say they launched, it went from like 100K market cap to 3 million, now it's back to 300K, and then you're seeing buys again, that's going to be in this kind of further out token age category. And a lot of really good tokens will show up in there. Because between all of the bot tools, the influencers and all this, like this 0 to 2 day is like actually where the market is the most competitive, right? Like everyone's trying to bot these tokens and that's where like the PvP battle goes on. Then the other place where that happens is at the top end with like the big tokens. But are you guys going to continue make pulling the Davis more robust, that transactions come a little quicker? Yeah. We don't see that too often, but yeah, I mean, we've been upgrading everything we can for these to be near instant. But yeah. And I mean, the good news is if you're any lag to the UI is just like because it's cleaning the data to get it in here, or it's running through these filters. What's the difference between the Launch Pro, Beta Button, Rock Emoji? New Launch Pro is going away. I already went over the emojis. We're not going to rehash it. But yeah, time loss is just getting the data into the UI. So when you have alerts, it'll actually come faster. So that lag will not be there. Okay. So are we good on that? That's clear. And obviously you don't have to run with the filters. Um, but and if you come up with filters you want that you think will be helpful, you can put them in the feature requests portion of the Discord, and we'll kind of go through them and see what makes sense. Like the only other one that comes to mind is probably like a market cap feed. So you could basically rinse it down even further to be like, oh, it has to be less than 100K market cap. But the problem is that data is change. Like by the time, like usually tokens blow right past 100K market cap pretty quickly. But anyway, so this is like the new bread and butter feature that's pretty built out. We now have stealth money, which, if you saw my email, at least the subs did. This still needs some UI work, but it is working. So you can see fresh wallet swaps. But yeah, no trial. The trials are never coming back. We're done with trials. But appreciate you saying that. I mean, when we publicly launched in July, at the end of July, the amount of customer support questions and issues and complaining was 99.9% from the trial users, and everyone else was like, hey, like I just made a 10x, hey, I'm copy trading this one wallet and I'm hitting a 2x every single like 5 times a day. So anyway, stop it. No trials. We're done. We're past that. Okay. So the other new feature, which I know I see, is, so there's actually two. So now anytime you go to a token page, we're going to clean up the formatting up here, but now you can just click and it'll bring you right into the DEX screener. So you don't need to keep, like pasting contract, go to DEX screener, paste contract, go to DEX screener. It's like now you have it right in here. Like you can flip right back and forth. You've got it. And now we also have the holdings over time, which we're still changing a couple things, but we just wanted to include it in here so you can get a sense of what's going to be going on. This is ugly. This is getting reworked, but basically the idea is now, especially on these more established tokens, it's kind of helpful to see, after all of the swapping that goes down, like who's accumulating, who holds what. We'll have stuff like average entry in here. But, you can basically see, who holds the big dollar amounts, and then you can, hover over them and see what their P&L looks like. So you can get a sense of, how it's changed over time, who's selling, who's buying. But this is still very work in progress. But we wanted to at least get it out there. But don't worry too much about it yet, because there's still a lot of formatting things that need to get improved with it. Same thing with stealth money. So this still needs a little bit of love, but we've shipped it anyway. So now you can see, in the last 1 hour, like where fresh wallets have bought. So you can look for like a quick way to use this if you see like a confluence of your AlphaStream custom filters flashing, like, okay, something's going on, and then you see it popping up here in the 1 hour net swaps from fresh wallets, which, if you don't know what fresh wallets are, it's just brand new wallets that are trying to not get caught up in our custom AlphaStream filters, right? And then the nice thing down here is you can run a similar process to what you used to have to do in the old AlphaStream. So you could filter these fresh wallet flows. I can't filter the transaction value. Devs are fired. But next week you'll be able to filter these transaction values, so to only get like bigger ones. But I would use it in tandem with the other data, not because there are a lot of projects that will try to manipulate these things. So you have to be really careful on the fresh wallet flows, because what scammers will do is they'll just start, they know people. What's the difference between new launch bot and new launch pro? The bots are people that you will not be able to copy trade by hand, by eye. There's no chance. They trade sometimes between a buy and a sell will be like 30 seconds. The bot label is there so that you don't go and try to put it into Maestro and copy trade it, because you're going to have missed transactions and you're going to get chopped up immediately. And so they are labeled for that purpose, so that hopefully, people understand, because they'll go, people come into the site, they go to the leaderboard, they'll see the bots, like, oh sweet, like I'll copy trade it, then I can make 3.3 million. It's like, probably not, because if your copy trading bot on the bot starts missing transactions, your bot wallet's just going to end up getting drained from all of the garbage that they buy. So I hope that answers your question. But anyway, those are the new features. Some, the custom alpha stream filters are done. I think they're basically working with no issues because we've been testing it. The other two still need some testing on our end, but we wanted to just ship it anyway because we said we would. But we don't, you don't need to send us feedback on certain issues that are going on with this thing. We know it and we're going to fix it ASAP. But, the goal is just to show you, PvP bot is pumping, let's go. But the goal is to show you what it's going to be like in here, so you can see accumulation over time, right? Because the swap flow data is really, really good for newer stuff, and it's also good for spotting anomalies. But sometimes you want to maybe take a longer term view and see just who's holding, and how has it changed. And that's what these token page analytics will do. And then we'll also have average entry, so you can know how early they bought in and stuff like that. You guys seem really torn on PvP bot. I didn't think it looked that janky, to be honest, but I'm glad it's pumping. Because I bought some, because I saw it in my custom alpha stream filters at 300k market cap or 200k. But yeah. So should we start hunting for some ideas? How long have we been on already? Half hour. Jesus. All right, or you guys can keep firing off questions. It doesn't matter. So we saw PvP bot. What's your bread and butter go-to filter? Usually some combination of, I always do 200k P&L because that's cream of the crop. You go over your thought process, how you hunt a PvP bot. Yeah, so I literally ran 24 hours, new tokens, 200k P&L. I don't think I put win rate in. You run that. And then I ran minimum transaction value of 1,000, which gets rid of garbage. So I saw it in here, back here, I think, which 200k market cap or so. It's actually 1.6, so it's 160k market cap. And then when I went to the socials and saw what it did, it was okay, this isn't some stupid meme thing. I'm gonna ape a little because I love to be able to short shitcoins. So, you can't overthink the new launch land because some things just pump and some things don't, and you kind of just have to think quick and just move. And so, what's it up to now? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, and also the other thing that gave me conviction is Um, Usually, when we see one-sided buy flows like this across all the new launch guys, usually the tokens will do pretty good for some amount of time. It doesn't mean it's like you hold it for 5 days because these guys they move pretty quick, but they definitely like also move as a herd, and some of them are definitely related. Like you'll see now, like current prices where they want out because I think they've hit like a 2x or something. But usually, like anytime, and people notice it, like if you're just staring at the stream all day, if you see just like a constant buy side pressure and the transaction values aren't like stupid small, it's usually worth looking into because there's enough attention on it that it'll go get shilled in Telegram groups, and then it goes and gets shilled on Twitter, and you know it's a runner. Yeah, see, it's starting to trade off a little bit now. Still looks pretty good though. Yeah, that's an example of one, but we can't count that one. Even though I think even when we started the stream, it's probably like a 300K market cap. Let's see if we can find another one. So last time I remember we actually found RVST. It was almost by, we just saw we were on the homepage actually, and we saw just like net inflows on the homepage show up. It was like number 3 or number 4 that day. And we were all kind of scratching our heads. It's like, what was going on there? And then it turned out, it was actually a good signal. Yeah, it's interesting. Like today, SG's got people have restored faith. Like it's been a lot of buys today. It's like all buy side flows. Something is definitely up there, so it might not be dead just yet. Because most of these guys did sell. Let's see, the holdings over time should work now. I bet there's not that many holders. 27 holders. Yeah, and like the other thing you can do if you're trying to get up to speed on a token that's not brand new is you can go into the portfolio summary and just type it in. Yeah, 95K of holdings isn't too crazy. So another way, if you like to move slower and you like to ape bigger, you can hang out more over here and just do some digging around all of the contract ages, because you'll see what everyone's holding, or you can just click through, right? Because you'll see there's obviously just some legacy stuff they hold that you don't care about. Like Shia used to be a lot higher. We've seen that trimmed quite a bit. I don't even see new Pepe. I wonder if that's lost some steam. 0x has lost a lot of smart money holdings, as has Link. They started selling once Link hit all-time highs. Here's new Pepe. Down here with Mog. Yeah. Loss has actually come down a ton too. Let's review an LBR. I don't know. House. See, House is like an anomaly. It's like, that's a lot of smart money holdings on a pretty new token. So I have no strong feeling on LBR. Saintbot. Yeah, like House could be interesting, right? So that's like an example of an anomaly, right? Like you see, like that's a lot. I mean, because it's only like a 5 or 6 million market cap, right? Like a weird rule of thumb that I've started using when I use the portfolio view is if the smart money holds more than the liquidity of a token, I usually perk my ears up. Yeah, I guess it's higher than I thought. So they're like 50% of the liquidity. But I mean, this thing's been trading like the same range for 2 weeks. I don't know, something's up there. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, yeah, you can see the SG leave and come back in that chart. It's funny. Are we hunting for new launches or some of these gems? Axe. This one kind of lost some steam too. Also, if you didn't see, we're going to launch. So on the homepage, these charts underneath the summary, which the summary is cool too. I used to use the summary a lot just to see inflows for new tokens, right? Because this is basically summarizing the alpha stream, right? It just doesn't have the filters on, right? So if you filter this for 0 to 2, you get all the new launches that have net, more buys than sells in terms of transaction value. But anyway, these two charts, I've tried to find signals from them and I don't have any. And so we're going to launch a new launch digest, which will basically take all of the new launches over the last 24 hours and which ones, still have smart money holding it, what was their average entry, what's the market cap. Because I have a theory that if you just watch those digest every day, you'll probably build a list of basically any future like runner that goes from like $1 million market cap to 20. Like you'll be able to spot it in that digest, right? Because the digest will be kind of a mixture of the swap data and the holdings data, but it's, the requirement to be on there is that smart money is holding it. It'll remove some of like the hot money stuff where they trade in and out and then their holdings are actually 0, which happens a lot in kind of the new launch time period. And then we're going to add research too. So like deeper dives into some of these newer launches. So again, for people, we're trying to cater a little bit more stuff to the people that want to move slower, but they want to ape bigger. Because, if you just sit on the alpha stream all day, you're just going to see a lot of, brand new tokens. But anyway, no questions? You guys got quiet on me. Let's see. Let's crank this up to like 400K and 50% win rate. So we don't have a in-app honeypot scanner, but it's easy to add. We could either get it via API from someone, or we can just make one. But I think most of them have APIs, so we could have that on there. Because, we're also building out the ability to just one-click trade in the site. So for those of you that are programmed and just sit on this stream all day long, you'll be able to just be like, oh, like this guy bought Stash, I want Stash. You just click, bam, buy. Or you can click the token page and then it'll have all the data, including the honeypot scanner, and then you could buy it there too. But we'll get there. But the Telegram alerts will come first. The Telegram alerts and ability to trade from them is kind of the number one next thing, because as much as you think you're catching these things well by hand in the stream, you are not. Like for instance on PvP bot, I wonder if I can search it or if it'll break my, let's see if I have it saved anywhere. So like on PvP bot, right? Like it eventually caught people's eye, like in the Chain Edge Discord, just because people are watching it. But like, they weren't buying here, when there was lots of zeros, and you probably would have bagged a. I can't even tell how many zeros it says. You would have had a good time. And so if you had Telegram alerts on, say, hey, just tell me anytime 3 new launch pros touch tokens, like you would have got an alert right here. You could have aped, and you'd be up, whatever that is, a lot. So that's why we're focused on getting that workflow done first. Is it possible to make this zero a little bigger? Yeah, really. I can't even read it. It looks like it's three zeros. And my eyes are dying. Yeah, me too. 3 zeros, 548, and it trades at what now? It's just like 1 0, right? Like it's got to be up quite a bit. 2 zeros, so it's only like a 10x. It's not too crazy, but yeah. And then the other thing you can do, like if you're looking for more fundamental existing projects, like a good example actually is Grail, right? Like you always have to just be thinking like, what's an anomaly, right? Like sometimes like when new projects get flows, it's kind of like, well, it's new, like obviously it's going to have flows. But Grail, like Joe, I think the Joe flows were actually people front running some listing. I don't know, it pumped like 50%. But we've seen these Grail flows, like something's definitely going on here. I've seen a couple people like tell me like the thesis of what's going down, but like if you talk about like old token signals, like this is kind of it. Like, so it's like you're looking for this, like it looks weird because the transaction values back in here were so big because the market cap was so big, right? Like $500,000, this is like 50K. But when we don't have that many smart money wallets, right? Because we distill it down to basically the only really good, best, high consistency traders. So when you see like a anomaly, which is nothing, just the token lulling into nothingness, and then 50K of buys out of nowhere from traders with 165K P&L. What is that, like 20K of P&L? There's another one. Like something's up here, especially this guy. He aped whatever that is. 40, 60, 70, like $70,000 in the last 2 days. So all of those flows were just him. Like obviously something's going on. So then you could go and research it, and there's this whole Grail thing going on. It's like, boom, there's your signal. And obviously that's like a way easier way of potentially making money, right? Is, you spot the signal, it's right there. You go and do your research, you could go ape it, it's not going to go to zero. And if you're wrong, it's not going to go to zero. What is the volume of shadow buys versus smart wallet buys? I don't understand the question. Are you saying for Grail or just in general? So I don't think there was any stealth Grail flows, but I could be wrong. The stealth wallet buys can be, they're usually smaller, but not always. Like 12K in Shia. It really depends on the day, to be honest, because like a fresh wallet will come in and buy, like a fresh wallet might indicate like an insider, and so they might come in and buy like 50K of some token before it gets listed on Binance or something. So it's much more variable, right? Because these wallets basically change, like there's a lot more wallets, right? Like this changes a lot more. Um, I'm interested in how much InfoStealth wallets generate. Yeah, like I said, you got to be a little careful because people try to manipulate it. But I mean, it can be a lot higher depending on the token. Um, but and that's why we summarize it here, even though I don't think it's necessarily working right yet, but they'll fix it. Yeah, and maybe like I'm trying to think of ways to like almost give you like a confluence when like or even at least in the custom alerts, right? You could say, okay, give me new launches that hit a certain wallet threshold, but also have X dollars of stealth money buys, because you'll see them ape a lot of the new launches too. Um, but that's a little bit further down the road because we got to figure out the best way to flow it. What was I talking about? Probably swap summary. This is the other way to, if you just want to ever say, I'm starting from scratch, I need to build a portfolio, which tokens are good? What are the good tokens? Usually if you run the swap summary with stables and ETH ripped out, you filter for 30-day inflows, you're probably just going to get a big list of good tokens, like Velo. There's like a couple funds been buying Ohm. Don't know what's going on there. Like Ator, 0x, MNT, Hilo, Bullet. Like you're fishing in the right baskets because these are getting consistent inflows. Like bonus points if there's inflows both in 30 and 7 days. Like Imperial. We actually have seen some anomaly buys in Imperial, which I think is probably one of the most interesting tokens at its current price, to be honest. This guy's a very good trader. 1.2 million in P&L. Picked up 33K in the last week. Almost a million P&L from this guy, 15K. Same guy. Another guy with 800K of P&L. Yeah, these two are the same. So that, again, it's like anomaly, right? Like, obviously the flows must not be... I guess they are going all the way back. It's kind of interesting that there was so little. But again, that's like an anomaly to me. I mean, the crazy thing is the price has come down so much since. I don't know why necessarily, but why is there focus on P&L more than win rate? Because what if I had $100 and I traded it 5 times and each time I made 1%, and now my win rate's 100%? Am I a smart money wallet? Nope. P&L also, the guys with the biggest P&L, you assume there's some sort of interconnectedness, at least, some of the wallets are connected, sure, but also, these are the people that have made the most money in all of the big winners. They know the right people, they know the right tokens. It's way easier to focus on the people that make the most money than people that have a really good win rate, because this is crypto and no one's going to have a perfect win rate. We do, though, filter out one-hit wonders. People like a P&L profile that we see a ton of is, a bunch of losers, and then their winners equal their losers, and then they made $1 million on Pepe. Is that wallet smart? No, because if you strip out Pepe, they are net neutral, 0 P&L. To me, that's not smart, so they don't get included. Is it possible in the future the same analysis for tokens but for NFT? Probably not. I mean, if NFT volume ever goes higher than 0, and then maybe we'll do it. But there's just not until then. Check out Meow. Yeah. I mean, I kind of already went through its cycle, didn't it? I remember people buying it. It was like a whole thing. Which one is it? We'll find it. But yeah, anyway, so win rates, like, because you have to remember our win rates are not perfect because it's a, like I said, like an example of if I trade 10 times, 9 of my trades I traded 100 USDC into 100 ETH. Those are still trades. So let's say I was losing money on those trades from trading around ETH, and then I made $1 million on Pepe. I have $1 million of P&L, but let's say I lost a little bit of money on my ETH trades. I have a 10% hit rate. So the win rate is not as important as you think it is because it is not adjusted for dollars, if that makes sense. So it is not perfect. So when you see a low win rate, it's not necessarily that they're bad or even that they're a gambler. But still, I like looking for the higher hit rates. When will Base be integrated? We have the data flowing now, so hopefully in the next week or so. And a lot of our guys are active on Base, so there will definitely be signals from that. Let's check Meow. Did they do a contract migration? There shouldn't be 2 of these. This has got to be the right one. Yeah, I mean, the flows are kind of choppy. Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of hype the first day. Not so much anymore. Let's make sure I'm looking at the right one. Is this it? I thought you said 500K market cap, but it might be the wrong one. It doesn't look like the right one. Anyone? Bueller? Does time of day play a role for you, like new launches are on US time? It really doesn't. I've seen new launches at a bunch of different times. They'll run harder if it's during US hours, but I don't think it's that important. But I don't really know. I'm still trying to find the right Meow. Maybe it's this one. There's no... That one doesn't look right either. Maybe they did do a contract migration. Yeah, I mean, like another thing you'll notice, and we saw this, like sometimes two projects will have the same thing, and smart money will just kind of drive the attention and the liquidity and the volume via shilling it to whoever. So like Meow, right? We just looked like I'm sure it gets usage, but I don't know. But it's a Discord trading bot, and then if you look at none, so I think our guys already cashed out of this guy. But you know they were heavy in it for a while. We had lots of buy activity early and into the momentum, and then obviously they sold and started losing momentum. But this thing, is at like a real market cap, it's like 6 or 7 million. Yeah. So that's the other reason I like to use smart money is if you operate under the assumption that they are all better connected, they have a distribution network of exit liquidity that they're trying to get these tokens to. There's a new launch, Stash. We saw that one earlier. Stash. China is buying. Let's look. So what's this thing do? Not a lot of... Oh, it is like brand new. China's buying is already selling some. Okay. Let's look at this thing. Clash for Stash. What does it do, ZJ? He has no idea. I think this is the guy that crushed it on Shia. So that's somewhat interesting. I believe this guy, let's just take a look for fun. I think he made like 300K buying Shia extremely early. Nope. He did make a bunch of money on this extremely long token that messes up the page, so that's fun. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's like I usually look for the $1,000 buying or more as like we're actually another. So we ran like a dashboard or a feature like contest. So whoever came up with the most creative dashboard, quickly forecasting 100% confidence. It's a hidden mint. Yeah. But somebody had this idea to do like a conviction score, which basically looks at their average trade size, and then it will look at their current buys, and then you can kind of say like, oh, they're usually ape 500 and they just aped 3,000, so the confidence score should be higher, which I think would be pretty cool. So we'll do something like that further down the road. But yeah, Stash is whatever. I don't know. I don't feel like, with what you guys are saying about the contract, it's not that interesting. All right, let's get the filters back going. We gotta find at least one good token before we go, because we've already been on for an hour again. What's going on here? So Stash is showing up in here, but it's all really just China's buying. What about my transaction filter's not on. Emoti? Has Emoti already pumped too much? I mean, this guy just threw in $4,000. The token tree has a weekly animated series. Huh. There's a lot of big buys in Emoti and PvP bot. Let's look at Emoti. Oh, Emoti's over a day old, which is kind of interesting. Huh. Market cap's quite low. Yeah, I'd count that as an anomaly. That's idea number one. It's Emoti. Why isn't 24-hour chart showing buys or sells? Because it's not what it's for. The chart 24 hours needs to go away. 24 was basically like we're making our own. This was gonna be the charts, but we just put Deck Screener in here because I think that's better. So the 24-hour needs to go away because it's obviously confusing people. Though even though this chart's not even showing any buys or sells, which I have no idea what that is. But like, let's just go through like a quick conviction analysis on this guy. Like he just aped $4,000 into Modi. He's got very good P&L. He does throw around boobies. I'd say it's a decent sized trade for him. I don't know. Something's definitely going on there. Kind of a weird portfolio. Anyway, so we'll call that idea one. So we'll look back at Amodi. I still don't know what it does, but we'll just say it's interesting. The flows are somewhat positive on it. Let's look at just today. Grail. That's our idea number two, because there's something kind of more catalyst driven going on there. Seems like a meme point, decent art. Think that's worth more than 300K market cap. This high PVP is kind of interesting. Let's see what the market cap is on that guy. I think they're like a Telegram. Oh, it's been around for longer than I thought. It might be too big. What did PVP's max market cap get to? This one I've seen shield a lot today on the Twitter. More flows in the house. House is another good idea. Number 3. That one's like seems very much like an anomaly. Like there's so much smart money holding. They keep buying. The price has been like flat for like 2 weeks. So there's something going on there. We flagged metal a while back. That one's, I think, hitting all-time highs today. Tree. I wonder if we have Tree Meister. Oh, how old is this one? Looks like everyone already sold it. This guy's coming back in for a little bit. Good morning, good night. Tree. I don't think any of them hold it anymore. That's kind of funny. Doesn't look great. It doesn't look that bad, actually. Anything else? I think we've done an hour pretty quickly here. We got a couple ideas though. Modi's more of a DJ one. I think Grail is like an anomaly going on. Same thing with House. I don't know House that well, but it's been pinging in the site for a while. There's obviously been PvP bot. We saw the flows turn negative and the price started to dump. We saw Parrot yesterday. I mean, the buys in Parrot yesterday were like wild. It reminded me of when SG launched. The buy flows looked kind of crazy like that. But yes, we have a Modi, Grail, House, maybe PvP bot if you want to count it. Because I mean, if I don't know if it's real, like I don't think there's any problems with the contract. What's going on here? It's fine. Like that'll definitely get usage. But yeah, hopefully you guys get out there, get after it, start trying out the new filters, come up with additions to make them better. We're gonna work out some of the bugs in the other 2 new features, but hopefully those will be worked out relatively shortly. And then, look forward to Telegram custom alerts coming very soon, and then you'll be able to trade off them. So then when you see things like Modi and PvP bot early, you'll be able to take advantage of it and make some money. But if there's nothing else, we can wrap it up there. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for joining. And maybe we'll do another one of these next Friday.